Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 89. Boy, we might have to do something special for 100. That's like creeping up.
Do you have any ideas?
I do not.
Okay.
It just came to me. It's like, I guess 11 episodes is quite a bit in the grand scheme of things.
It's 11 weeks.
Yeah. It's like 3 months, 2.5 months. Anyway, it is unseasonably cool here. If we go in the vein of that we talk about the weather at the beginning of the podcast.
I actually went on a run this morning. It was cold.
Yeah. Yep.
It was cold.
Yeah. Yep, we shut the windows last night. Generally, not because it was warm and we wanted to have the air conditioning in. It was because it was so cold. So, but knock on wood, that's a good thing.
I actually, small side tangent, saw my friend, and I have a candy in my mouth. I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking when I stuck it in my mouth before we started.
She offered me one, so you could have 2 hostesses with candy in their mouth.
But
you saw a friend.
I saw a friend online, and I messaged her, and we were talking, and she's down in Mississippi, and she said that it hasn't gotten up to 95 yet, and it was actually only 73 there today. It's like, whoa. And then we talked about how she hasn't even met my daughter yet, who is 5.5. So we were talking about how we need to arrange a visit to visit each other. And she's in Vicksburg, Mississippi, so if that sounds like uber familiar to you.
Yeah. Amy out in the Northwest was saying that it's been like over 15 days so far this summer there. And that normally it's only like, for the whole summer, it's only like a couple. So somebody else is getting our heat.
Okay. I don't want it back. Yeah, it's like, no, this was nice. I am not complaining. This is my favorite type of weather.
It is, and it reminds me, it kind of makes me sad because it a little bit reminds me of fall, which kind of is like a harbinger of winter for me. But like to have it actually be July and be like this is like the best because it's like, no, we're a long ways from, hopefully, again, knock on wood, from winter at this point yet. So, yeah, we're not a weather podcast. We are actually a knitting one, if you remember.
Oh, okay.
We have a couple of things going on right now. We have a Windswept KAL, which is by Tin Can Knits, Emily Wessel. And we also have a self-striping knit-along going on. We have the Coop Knits book of socks that we reviewed that we'll be giving away next week, so if you haven't signed up for that. And Amy, I saw that your thread for your jump ball is still out there and available. So
yes, I am going to close that up sometime on Sunday and draw a random number generator winner. And then they will get directly contacted. So there's no like, oh, I have to make sure to see if I won. No, you'll be contacted if you win.
Knitwear will be coming from the sky.
Yeah. So yeah, there's only like 50 some people in there right now. So
I'm wondering if people are more likely to be like, oh, that's the right size for me. I'll jump in. And then Tour de Fleece wrapped up, right?
It did. And I played an Instagram game with a few people, and they've been notified that they were winners. I haven't shipped off that stuff yet, but they were notified, and I will be picking out prizes and sending them off.
Cool.
But I don't know what else I was going to say. Yeah, thanks to everybody who tagged their stuff. Zombie Spin, TDF 2013. I know that was a mouthful, but
I felt bad during the zombie knit-pocalypse. It was like, yeah, you kind of tagged it, but you didn't spell knit-pocalypse right. But that's okay. It's not really a word. So,
yeah, we'll have to think of
maybe just ZK. ZK 2014.
Yeah, that would be nice and simple.
I don't know if ZK stands for something else in pop culture, but we'll
find out.
We can go. I have the technology. I can go figure that out. So, do you have any FOs?
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. No spinning even?
Mm-mm.
What?
Tour de Fleece ended, and I was like, I'm gonna set this aside.
Mm-hmm. I have my windswept. Huzzah! Max, you're sitting on my needle. That couldn't have felt very good. It has restored my faith in pashmina as a sweater yarn. I think I've mentioned that several times. But this has been, it was washed in my washing machine.
Holy cats. Wow.
I have I know where I have a really old washing machine, and it's top load, and you can put it on a certain setting, and all it does is fill up, like swish a few times, drain, rinse, and then spin a little bit to get the water out. And so, because I watched it one time, like I did the due diligence, because I was going to be putting my woolies in there, of like going like, if I set it here, like clear on to where it looks like it's not going to wash anything at all, what will it do? And it, lets it soak a little bit. Anyway, my setting is good.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt my woolies. But yep, this has been washed, and it's pashmina in the Cove colorway, and it's the neck is a little low for me, so I was going to get Amy's opinion on air, of course.
Okay.
Whether or not
I saw your photobomb picture. So.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if it would do me a little better to have the just casually seam it, or seam it a little bit there. I don't know, it just seems so low for me. And I know I'll be wearing a tank top.
Yes, for her, yes, you can.
It's all relative.
Sew that up.
Yeah.
Because for me, it'd probably be down here, and I'd be like, okay, there's a cami.
Yeah. Well, if I pull it down to its fullest length, then
yeah,
like right where my bra meets, and I don't like that.
Be constantly tugging it.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're going to be constantly tugging at it, seam it up.
And then we had a bit of a conversation about where you switch for the garter in our chatter thread. And with my highly variegated, you can't see it. You really can't. I don't really. I mean, you can see a little bit of difference there. But that's where I wove in my ends, and I was also alternating skeins, so I don't know if that did something to it. Or not. But you changed where you were alternating skeins, right?
Yeah, yours looked fine. But when, I don't know, something about how I was doing it, my purl bumps, the ones right next to the knit pattern, the lace pattern, looked different than the rest of them where I was switching the yarn, and it was driving me crazy. I know that I can do a better job at switching it when it's in plain stocking knit, so I moved it to the side. Which is, I don't know. It was a nice place to hide it for me. Because I feel like I think yours
on the
looks
inside
great.
you can't even tell.
Yeah, no, You're right.
So, belly. So yeah, but it is fantastic. The pashmina is fantastic. Just feel me. So nice. It is.
Yeah,
soft,
no, and I was impressed by the washing, because I know
woolies don't live in this house unless they can be put in the wash, because I don't do a really good job of soaking.
I understand, but after the Delancey, I was like, oh, that looks very nice.
I should bring this alleged Delancey disaster so people can see it, because today I had it on because I had my office window open and the breeze was bringing in some cool air, and I was like But it was knit at a much looser gauge, and so I think the pashmina, because it's just so wonderful, it likes to be next to itself.
Yep.
And if it can't be next to itself and at a tighter gauge, it goes, I'm just gonna run away. I don't want to be here anymore. So yeah, that is my windswept, and wonderful knit. I really liked that the lace kept things interesting, but yet when you got down here and you were in the round, you were just knitting primarily. Get to that next lace. Get to that next lace. And that is about the most I'm going to have to talk about this week. So got some designing going on behind the scenes.
Darn it, designing.
I know. It makes me a less interesting podcaster. But... my alternating of skeins, yes, it'll be a nice wear. It's not so tight that scared backs. It's not so tight that I won't be able to wear it like over the top of things, and that's also a nice function.
My whips, I have 3 to share. So this is my Dancing Dog Dye Works in the Stockinette Zombies colorway, and I'm going to be doing the seamless slippers that you released.
Yep.
And I'm well on my way.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I have a lot more to do, but I wanted to cast on something simple, and you'll kind of see why. Okay. Stop. Okay. I don't know how far I was with the Julissa last time. Do you remember?
You were just about ready to separate for sleeves, or you had just separated for sleeves?
Well, whatever it was, I am now separated for sleeves, and I've gone down a little bit from there. Mm-hmm. And I have them on a bigger cable so that now I can at least, kind of look. Because it was on such a small cable last time that it pretty much looked like this whenever I showed it to people. Mm-hmm. And so now I can spread it out and see that it is actually my size and not for a child. And I did try it on. I did my due diligence, tried it on, thought it looked really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little nervous about the amount of yarn I have. I did have one person offer up a partial of a ball, but again, I want to see how far I get. Take my, I don't know, I definitely need to ball up the second set so that I am able to, there's a significant amount of yarn in here left, so we'll see how far it gets. My sleeves will not be long.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, you're not expecting.
No, I'm not expecting them to go down here. I'm not even expecting them to the elbow. Elbow would be nice, but I'm foreseeing I want them to not be cap sleeves. So I want them to be like mid bicep would be great. And then the windswept. This will not look like it's much different because I ended up ripping back and then moving the yarn to the side, and so whatever progress it made, all of it was ripped out, and then I put the yarn is now on the side. See, and I don't know, I think I do a better job of hiding it on the stockinette.
See, and mine get too tight.
Oh, okay. And then and I think right now I'm finally at the point where I need to decrease again for the bust shaping. Mm-hmm. So going back down into decreases, and that's why this one's not ready, because I need to make sure that I am doing the decreases. I've had experiences while podcasting where I just blow on by them and do like 3 rounds where no decreases happened, and so need to not be on a decrease round for that to work. But
sorry, I'm not.
I feel like that was good bit of progress.
Mm-hmm.
I did switch the colors recently out, and you can kind of see, but I have no idea, because I actually switched down here. So it looks like it changed color scheme before I actually did. So it's the nature of hand-dyed.
Yeah, well, you had no idea whether or not that skein was in the process of changing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
it was going through the changes.
Yeah. Get a little hot flash.
Yep, the changes.
It's gorgeous when you try it on. I think it looks so weird. I mean, you can tell, but I've seen finished objects, where they've put it on, and it just does something wonderful when you're trying it on. So that's that one.
It's weird.
Well, I mean, just the way the collar is lying and the lace is bunching up because you haven't blocked it yet.
Yeah, it is kind of a gather. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but once you try it on, everything just kind of, it flattens and stretches and looks like it's blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, my folded is the thing that's gotten the most progress. So, here's
Crazy garment knitter.
Here's the folded. And I got my just below the elbow sleeves on one side. And I am now just to the point where I need to start doing decreases on the sleeves. So rather than being crazy measuring and whatnot, I cast on my slippers real quick for podcast knitting.
Yep, I am precariously placed in my knitting.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing a very good job of podcasting and interacting here.
But this marker is where I started decreasing, and it's right up on that marker right now, and I have to determine whether I need one more row before the decreases or start the decreases on the next row, you know. I'm at that needing to think and make choices part of the sweater. But we were going to talk about this a little bit off air, but mine is really loose on the top, and it's rolling a lot. Like some of them roll a little bit. This is rolling quite a bit, and I don't mind the rolled look. It just makes the opening so much larger that it feels like it's going to slip off the shoulders. And so we were just talking about how to fix that. I think that mine will actually need a 2x2 rib add. So I think I'm going to rip out the bind off rather than pick up stitches there. And then do ribbing just like for the bottom. And it's just 5 rounds, and it should tighten it up. And I've seen a lot of projects that have already done it, so I feel confident that it's going to look good and work.
Yeah, mine was in garter. We've had that conversation.
Yeah, and the people who did it in garter, I don't know, they must have had less roll than I do, because I think I would need a significant amount of garter to make this not roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to get mine out.
And that everything's just kind of in the throes of getting done, and I have cast on itis because these big projects and not having any finished objects and whatnot is starting to get to me.
Yeah, I recently went through not cast on itis, but like preparedness-itis. So I got the Loopy U project is having Camp Loopy, and Project 3 starts on August 1st. So I got my skein DK that I was talking about, and I balled her up. Cool. It's a lot prettier than their picture was. Okay. It's either Rogue or Rouge. I'm guessing it was supposed to be Rouge, but it looks like isn't Rogue spelled the same way without the
Rogue Rouge
accent mark? Anyway, very pretty. I'm making the it's going to be an experiment, let me tell you.
Boy.
I'm making the Harvest Moon, and it calls for an Aran weight. This is a DK. Wow. So we shall see.
With going to the smaller yarn.
I like it. In general, I like the smaller weight garments better. I don't know why. I just do. So yeah, Harvest Moon, Heidi Kermeyer, Camp Loopy, Project 3. The Love and the Mommyhood is also doing her summer sweater KL, SSKL.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll be including that. They cast on the 24th, but I have to wait until August 1st for that. And then, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm going to be doing the Botany out of the Grinning Gargoyle.
Could I do a tank for their summer knit-along?
It has to be a long sleeve. Because they did their summer garment knit-along, and now it's like you're knitting for the fall.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Knitting all these garments, can't count them anywhere.
And this is the Grinning Gargoyle mink and the gunmetal. And I think it is going to be a fantastic. You want to pet my mink? A fantastic botany. I'm going Appalicious in my bag. So this was my Elizabeth Quinton. And this one is my Erin Lane, Appalicious. And then my Girl Cave bag is what I have my current work in progress in, which I haven't talked about yet, even though I'm showing you all my yarns and my acquisitions. Jumping ahead, I'm knitting and I thought since I had the fabulous book, I could show it off, the Oak Trail hat. And again, I think I'm knitting this out of skinnier yarn than it calls for. Let's see. Calls for vintage, which is a worsted Macintosh vintage. And I am knitting it out of pashmina. Because I have pashmina in the grasshopper colorway, which I think is a very leafy colorway. And so I just did the brim, and I just picked up the stitches, and you probably saw me count the number of stitches about 100 times. And I'm joining in the round, and hopefully the sport weight translates. I mean, this part was just in inches, right? So, but hopefully it doesn't get too tight on the top part here. I have a small head, but I think the pattern sizes for is kind of a small head. So we shall see.
Okay.
But that is currently my only on-air work in progress that I have to show. So.
What? Yeah. You had quite a few purchases there that you showed. Did you have any more?
Nope. The Loopy U skein. It was really nice. While I was balling it up, it was like, it's just, and I don't know if it's from dealing with this kind of silky, slick, but this just feels substantial and dense. It's gonna create a nice garment. And there are a few, like I'm gonna have to do some interesting, like this seems like a really vibrant, and a couple of them seem like more muted. So I'll have to do my alternating skeins again. But the Harvest Moon is really pretty. I've seen it in a lot of Tweedies. So that is that.
Excellent.
Said cat. Said something. I have that pretty book, and then I print it out so that I can carry it with me anyway.
Yes.
Not very nice for the trees, but
you don't want to fold it up and get it all mangled.
Nope.
My only, I would say only purchase, I bought some yarn for the Ting Tank so that I could participate. And I was like pleasantly surprised that I only need 2 skeins of the Pima cotton silk, and I've knit quite a few garments out of that and really enjoyed the finished objects, so I am going to go ahead with that. And it is DK, so it fits the pattern.
The bill, yeah.
Now, what do I want to say about it? It's red. I'm going to have to alternate because it's very hand-dyed. But the other thing I got, the unofficial Harry Potter knits from Interweave.
And all you have to do is say unofficial.
I guess. They said that they can't sell it in other countries, and this is a U.S. only book. So if you're coveting it and you're like, oh my god, you need to find somebody in the U.S. to buy it and send it to you, because there probably is copyright laws that they're violating. Because they use people's names and they talk about like transfiguration, and I'm not sure why it can't be sold in other countries, but
yeah,
I'm sure it's explained somewhere. But yeah, only available in the U.S. Basically, I love the cover. This is the Ginny cardigan. And then there was a vest in there that I thought was really pretty. That one's for Luna Lovegood vest.
It's asymmetrical.
Yep, it's the Heliopath. And
see, I would say Heliopath.
Heliopath, you're right.
But again, these are made up words. So, or is that a made up word?
No, I don't think that's made up.
Okay. Heliopath.
And then the Snape, Severus Snape, you're not going to be able to see this, but they had a model that looks like Snape. And it's Cablelicious man's sweater.
I could just see Fergie singing that. Cablelicious. C-A-B-L-E. Yeah. I don't know how you spell issues after that. I-C-I-West.
And then you're not going to be able to see this one, but this one I actually was surprising to me because it wasn't in the listed patterns on Ravelry.
Oh, it's really pretty. Yeah, I haven't seen it. The Lestrange.
Lestrange cloak. And that one it's really long, like really long, because it takes 3,000 yards.
Ooh, the buckets.
Yeah. Over 3,000.
The buckets don't hold a lot of water.
In my size. And I'm like, there is no flipping way that takes that much yarn, but it does go down to her knees.
It does.
And she's a model, so she's probably tall.
It's got long sleeves, and it's got a big collar.
Yeah, fairly big collar.
It's lacy.
But still, I would not have expected it to take 3,000.
3,000. What's the weight of the yarn?
Mini Maiden.
So it's a
Fingering?
Yeah, light fingering.
Light fingering, yeah.
Fingering.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I mean, I would have to, modify it, because I would probably not want to knit 3,000 yards of it. And then they had another really cute purple sweater. This is the Tonks one. So it's 2 sweaters that you're knitting, and then you wear one on top of the other. So at first I thought, oh, well, that's really weird lacy thing, and I don't understand what's going on here, but it's a full-on worsted weight cable sweater, and then you put this lacy thing over the top of it. So there's 2, so it's one pattern. You know, you're trying, I'm like, where's the dark purple sweater? Where is it? It's in the same pattern as the light purple lacy one. So that's an interesting concept. 2 sweaters, 1 pattern. They supposedly go together, but they're not attached. So you can take one off, wear it different. But yes, and that Ginny one, it's just a nice simple cardigan with little pockets on the front. So the cover sweater, it's very basic on the front. And I know that the designer of this owly Ginny cardigan is doing a knit along.
Oh, fun.
So in that designer's Ravelry group. So not in Interweaves or not, it's her own design group is doing that. So that was kind of fun to find out. And I do and I don't have the yarn for this. Like, I have some yarn that would work, but at the same time I'm like, it's Tweety.
What's the weight?
DK.
I've got, what would look really cool is I've got my Fat Squirrel fibers in that really pretty orange, kind of like Jeannie's hair. Yeah. But I've already got a garment that's going to be
She's got a lot of plans going on.
Got a lot going on here.
I had a similar problem with it. Like, my DKs are already spoken for or don't have enough yardage. So, yeah.
I had grand hopes of I was going to start knitting my sweater quantities because I told you I recently enumerated them. And I was going to...
Never do that.
I was going to start, like, I have some Noro and some Cascade 220 that I bought to do, like, a stripey pullover with. And that was, like, my first sweater quantity I ever bought. And I'm like, I'm going to work on that. Like, I'm going to start from the bottom up. Sweater quantity I've had since 2009, and I'm going to use it. And, yeah. Hasn't happened yet.
No.
Because cool KALs come along and...
Right, and you have to have the yarn that fits the sweater, or...
Yeah. You can't use my Cascade 220 in Noro and make a stripey Jenny. It just doesn't work like that.
It would be a disservice to the cardigan.
That, and yeah, it was like you said, it's spoken for. It was specifically something, right? So... I could talk briefly about my my phone app that I was going to talk about last week.
Okay.
Impromptu. Okay. Another review. I recently updated my phone to Ice Cream Sandwich, I believe. If you're an Android user, that means something to you. And all of these cool apps became available to me. And I downloaded an app because I was looking for... Amy's got like something on her phone, and there's people that in my work area that have something on their phone. So like after 10 o'clock, only certain people can ring through. And I couldn't find that app on my phone. Like either my operating system didn't support it, or it needed to be an iPhone or whatever. I mean, you have an Android. But I found Llama. And Llama is a location-aware mobile application. So basic premises of Llama are you have areas, which I don't use areas because my work is like 3 blocks from here. And so I use the same cell tower here at my home as I do at my work. But Llama will learn where your cell towers that you're connected to at home are, and then you tell it, okay, now I'm in a new area, I'm at work, and it will look at your cell towers there. And so then it's location aware. And then you have events.
Does it use your GPS?
Nope, just cell towers, which you're normally connecting to.
Okay.
Again, it didn't work for me because I'm too close. But you have events. So there's all kinds of cool events that you can do in Llama. And again, this is kind of me being geeky and programmy, so this might be like not your bag of tricks. But like my normal day is between 7:30 a.m. and 11 p.m. when my phone connects to my home Wi-Fi, which is how I tell it that I'm at home. Then it turns my ringer to a certain setting and my vibration on or off. It changes it to my profile, which I'll get to profiles next. I'm going through these linearly. I can say that. I also have a quiet at night. So at 9 o'clock at night to 7:30 a.m. when it's charging, so when it's connected to an AC, I change my profile to bed. And then bed is a profile where I have like, if my mom is calling, if my husband is calling, if my work is calling, if for some reason daycare is calling. So my set numbers, it'll let it ring through, but everybody else is silenced. So yeah, I have a bed, a home, and a work profile. And my work profile, it doesn't make the little bloop, it just vibrates. So that like I'm not sitting in a meeting and Amy texts me or something and there's a nice little, in the middle of the meeting. So it's a really powerful tool, and you can make it as simple as or as complicated as I have, in that you have areas, you have things that happen like times or places that you're located, or whether you're charging or whether you're connected to a certain Wi-Fi. I can't think of what other all kinds of other triggers that you can do. Also has a really cool where you can test your actions, so it can say run this trigger now and see if what matches. It also has some really cool, and you might not be able to see it on my phone, but like the things that match in your triggers are green, and the things that don't are red. So right now it says when charging is in red because it's not charging, it's not connected. And it's not between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and I'm not connected to my work Wi-Fi, so all of those are red. So it's really cool. It's a very powerful tool to make your phone behave, basically. You can set volume levels, you can tell when who can contact you and where. So
okay.
Llama. And I just thought that was fun. That was what originally drew me to it. I was like, I like Llama. Llamas are fun. Somebody texted me, but I had it on. I don't have it like location aware for the podcast or anything.
On my couch.
On Wednesday nights when I'm on my couch and Amy is located next to me, do not let it ring. But yeah, go check it out. It was free.
Okay.
They have like a little thing at the bottom, I think. I don't even think they have ads. It just has little cute sayings at the bottom. Oh, yeah, it's the donate button. It has performed 275 actions since the 28 days ago that I installed it. Donate? ? It also has random facts about llamas at the bottom and stuff as well. The developers had a lot of fun developing the app. So, impromptu review of some techie stuff, because we're both kind of techie. I don't know if that seeps into the podcast so much, but
I like to let my husband be the techie when I'm not at work. It's my greatest joy to be able to say, honey, the wireless isn't working.
The kids, I've got my kids perfectly trained, like to a T. Like, Dad, help me with this technology. Why don't you ask your mom? Mom says she doesn't know how to do it. So they'll come and be like, Mom, can you get the Wii to do? No, I don't know how not.
Oh, the video game system is not me.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, nope, not me. TV, kinda me.
Yeah.
Anything to do with the internet or the computers, not mom. Sorry, don't know how to do it.
But you know how to do it. Amy's like, I'm not going to admit on a public podcast that I know how to do any of these things. Yep.
I barely admit some of it at work. Like, that is somebody else's job. I'm going to just say, I don't know how to do that. Not when somebody truly needs me. It's just that they're trying to short circuit something that they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And I feel like, nope, not supposed to help you shortcut. But, and again, yeah.
That's knitting up fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think I have Stocking the Zombies in the worst way. Maybe I do. I should go check. I should bake some more slippers.
I wish I had enough of my, I have a DK weight for stripies, and I don't have anything else that's striped that I have leftovers, so I don't have enough to make slippers. But I liked the self-striping.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty quick self-striping June entry.
Yeah.
They ended up like the wind. I mean, I just published that pattern yesterday. I think there's already like 3 or 4 completed projects out there. Yeah. It's like, woohoo! Great Christmas knitting, by the way. The seamless Salomas slippers. Check them out.
Cool.
Yes. Anyway, we're rambling. We're rambling roses.
Bye!
Bye, Ufta.